Do it.
Podcast time. Hey there. How you doing? You good? Good. On our play for this week, Pokemon TCG Pocket making money. Monster Hunter Wilds beta numbers are wild. And Microsoft Game Pass gameplay on Call of Duty Black Ops 6 seem to have paid off. All this and more on Season 8, Episode 44 of Press X to Start Gamers Digest. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, EJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka the man, the myth, the dude hitting monsters with that giant horn. It's me. I am joined by.
Sean MF Ross.
What does the MNF stand for?
I was shooting monsters with the gun, I think.
Oh, must be a new weapon. I didn't get to play with that one.
Whatever long range shit, boner. I don't know. I'm not a Monster Hunter player, y'all. Y'all know
it. All right, now you know who we are. Press X to Start Gamers Digest is a video podcast that condenses the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We are live on YouTube whenever we can make it because life is hard.
But listening to us is easy. We're streaming on every day that ends in DAY.
Nailed it. This man knows what's up. All right, don't forget, you can support us by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell. If you're listening, we greatly appreciate you leaving us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever podcast service you're currently tuned in on right now at this moment. Go ahead and leave us a review. After you do all that, please join our conversations by joining our Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. All right. Thank you. Okay. With that being out the way, let us jump into the gaming news with number 1. Pokemon TCG Pocket is currently earning 3 times more per day than Pokemon Go, estimates suggest. This comes to us from VGC by way of Chris Scullion. As reported by MobileGamer.biz, estatements from mobile market research firm AppMagic suggest that the game made around $3 million per day on its debut weekend. Crazy. It's claimed the game has made $12.1 million in its first 4 days. Like, I have been playing Pokemon TCG, and
you're trash.
Not even that. I have not had the urge, the need, the want to spend any money on it at all. Like, Nintendo has done such a good job of just giving you currency and letting you just like I guess rip open packs to get like the cards. And it's just for it to make $12.1 million, like people must be like ODing off of this game.
Yeah, you're just not addicted to it. It's just not your thing. You're more of a Marvel Snap guy, you know.
I mean, I'll tell you, like, I really haven't been like. I thought I'd be able to balance Pokemon TCG with Marvel Snap, and I really have kind of just fallen off playing Marvel Snap for playing Pokemon. But and they're 2 different games. And I have Balatro too. But yeah, man, this is really impressive numbers. I kind of thought this would happen, but I didn't think this would happen so fast. But yeah,
what I don't understand is why they keep rebooting the damn game. This is like the 3rd iteration that is like on mobile or available via mobile.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's trying to modernize something that they know works, and not only trying to keep it current, but try to find, I guess, the best version of it. Is this the best version of it? I don't know. I never really played the other card games, so it's hard for me to really just be like, okay, well, this does.
When did I say they launched the last one? 2-3 years ago?
Oh, the other app.
Yeah, because he was like, "Yeah, I'm playing."
Oh yeah,
Pokemon TCG, and I'm like, "Y'all niggas late."
All right, I'm gonna continue the article while you look that up. So, Pokemon TCG Pocket is currently earning more revenue than Pokemon Go, which is estimated to makes around $1 million per day. Given that the game is brand new release, it remains to be seen whether it. I'm hearing myself in my ear, and it's really throwing me off. It remains to be seen whether it can continue this momentum or whether it will eventually drop off as players move on to other games. The game's official account on X confirmed that the game has been downloaded more than 10 million times over its debut weekend, which is also just insane numbers. At Magic's data also estimates that Japan accounts for around 4% of the total number of games download. That's pretty low. Huh. It accounts for around 45% of the game's earnings. That's pretty high. The Japanese players far more likely to pay for microtransactions. Huh. So basically what that sentence just said, Japan is the whale of Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
is
so hold on. The last game they launched was in 2022. It was announced in 21. It was called Pokemon TCG Live.
I remember
And they
that.
were
Yeah.
still releasing new shit October 24. And then they
Live.
launched live on or no, Pocket. Pocket is the one you're playing, right?
Yes, yeah. So
they're running 2 games concurrently.
yeah, but I think there was a big problem with live in terms of it not it's like not following the rules in a certain way. Like there was something weird about live where a lot of people
Yeah.
didn't really glom onto it too well. But they're still running it. But I would imagine if Pocket can maintain this like momentum that it has, it will probably be the default Pokemon thing. But I think
Okay.
the
I see the things that changed.
yeah,
The
because I
size
think live more
capacity of the deck has been reduced from 60 to 20.
yeah, live focus more on
You
battling,
know,
whereas Pocket is more about collecting. So yeah, I mean,
collecting.
like this is great news for Pokemon and their trading card game, and just having another branch of that tree
This shit
making money for them.
This is bullshit. No, this ain't real goddamn TCG. It doesn't have an energy card requirement. You're not required to include energy cards in your decks to enable attacks,
Oh
as
yeah,
energy is
no.
provided directly in the game. That's
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
You're
It's
playing in a
simplified
weenie hut
in a
junior
way.
version.
Yeah, it's simplified in a way where it's also a little surprising. Again, as a person who hasn't played the trading card games, I've collected trading cards in the past. I've played the physical game like way in the past before, but it was never anything
Mm.
serious. They combined some Pokemon into like the same elements. So ground, rock, and fighting type Pokemon are all fighting type Pokemon.
So they
Uh,
simplified it for the No Child Left Behind generation, is what you're telling me.
which is strange because there's still like 10 different elements in the game that you have to kind of account for. So it's like if they just left the rest of the elements, it would have been like 15 elements. So it's just like, okay, you simplified it, but you didn't really simplify it. So it's like, why? And then also, water type Pokemon are weak to electric and not grass.
Yeah,
And it's like,
they've always also been a weak to electric.
exactly. Like, and they've simplified it where each element is only weak to one other type. So it's a thing where you have to sort of learn the game. Overall, I mean, I think it's a cool card game. I've grown to appreciate it more than where I started at. So it is
Mm.
that thing of like, okay, I can this is a thing where I like collecting the cards. I like doing the battles. I've done a few online battles with like random people online. And
Mhm.
it's like, okay, these people have been playing. They have these like OP cards. That's just like, okay, well, it's gonna be hard for me to win, and then I lose. And it's like, okay, that's fine. I can just move on my life. But overall, good job for them. They made a game that they were pretty positive was going to hit, and it hit.
Mhm.
The last little bit of this is it's also suggested that Most money has been spent on the iOS version of the game, with estimates suggesting that it's earned $10.5 million, and the Android version accounting for the remaining 1.6 million, which is interesting, I guess. Well, okay, so that
You can't
number,
really. That metric doesn't tell you anything really.
I mean, that's really, I mean, that would kind of just point at the Japanese market because they're spending the most money. So it'd
Funny.
probably be, I guess,
Yeah,
iPhones is
that
bigger over
metric
there.
doesn't tell you enough. It's not enough data.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Maybe I'll talk more about it in the what we've been playing section, but I mean, it's a pretty simple Pokemon card game. If you know what Pokemon is, you know what cards are, just put them together, and that's kind of the game. So yeah, number 2, Monster Hunter Wilds beta begins with almost 500,000 concurrent players on Steam. This comes to us from GameSpot by way of
Is that a
Evan
lot?
Campbell. Yeah, yeah. I actually had to look up the number because I was like, I don't even know if that's a lot or whatever. That number, so that so the okay, let me just get into this.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Wilds beta. Okay, no. Just hours after releasing, the early test for the action adventure game hits over 460,000 concurrent players on Steam. Keep in mind, those figures don't even account for people on PS5 and Xbox Series X/S either. On SteamDB, the Monster Hunter Wild beta reached a peak of 463,798 players, roughly hours after it began last night at 8 p.m. Blah 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 blah. The open beta will remain blah 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 because it's already closed. Pain, just pain. I want to play that game some more. So it's possible the concurrent player count hit is even higher number. It didn't. So 463,000, blah, blah, blah. That was like the highest that it hit. Okay, so just to give context, Monster Hunter World that released back in 2018, I believe, that had a concurrent player count of 360 something
Yeah.
thousand players just on Steam alone. Again, it is important to note that these numbers is just Steam. It's not PlayStation. And although the audience is huge PC wise, the audience is probably comparable on console side too because Monster Hunter is such an old running franchise.
Hmm.
So the exact numbers is probably bonkers. I would hope that Capcom would put a feather in their cap and actually like put out a little Twitter graphic or whatever, like, hey, we hit 600,000 players on the beta alone for
All
this game.
across. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, yeah. And I think I want to say that the 24-hour. So okay, so this is the thing. I tried to compare this with the COD Black Ops numbers, 'cause I think that was like the highest thing at the point or whatever before this, but because Activision combined all of the COD games from Modern Warfare, what, 1 remastered up into
Yeah.
Black Ops, the 24-hour peak is like 491. But that is from Modern Warfare 2, I think. So I would say that this 463 number from Monster Hunter Wilds is probably higher than the Black Ops 6 numbers, which is really just astounding to even like imagine that being the case. That like, but again, it's the thing of like Monster Hunter is that silent killer in the market where people who know of the game know of that game. And other people just like, I heard of Monster Hunter. Yeah, yeah, you do stuff with monsters, right? But it's just a juggernaut, and it's one of Capcom's heavy hitters.
I might give it a try. I don't know. I just
Yeah,
hate that the damn monster starts running away once you start
yeah,
beating his ass. Like,
yeah.
stay here and throw hands, man. What is
Like
this?
I'll talk more about it in our what we've been playing section, but like it is very much so more Monster Hunter. Like there's a lot of stuff that they have changed to make it more accessible, but
Mm,
at the end
I
of the day, it
know.
is that same loop. What'd you say?
He said it changed stuff to make it more accessible. I said, I know.
Oh.
I don't know.
So yeah, again, props to them. They've Capcom has been on such a roll this year, this generation. Like, man, they're financially secured. So that's awesome. Number 3, Black Ops 6 tops the UK's chart, but physical sales are down 10%, likely due to Game Pass. This comes to us from VGC by way of Chris Scullion. As noted on X by GamesIndustry.biz, editor Chris String, physical launch weekend sales for Black Ops 6 are 10% lower than those of Modern Warfare 3 last year. To note, that's actually okay. I just want to step back. I want to appreciate the success that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has had, but the way that these numbers have been coming out has been very like something doesn't really seem right about this because and I think it's partially to do with Xbox being really cagey on just numbers in general and Activision wanting to, give accolades to whatever success Call of Duty is doing. So, like last year, where, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 was getting bent over on the side, like getting thrown off of the deck or whatever, they were still like, oh, this is doing number one in this, number one in that. And it's like a really kind of odd metrics to pull from. They're kind of being super vague with the metrics on here. And it's just become a very confusing thing where it kind of feels like people are just taking the numbers and just not really thinking about it and just being like, whatever.
I wonder how many people played versus like the first few days when Starfield launched, because you remember they threw up that graphic saying X amount of million of people played.
It was like 10 million players, yeah.
I'm curious if they do that for this.
And yeah, and that's the thing where it's just like, as it is right now, it's been a week, more than a week actually, since Modern Warfare or Black Ops 6 came out, and there hasn't been that graphic of like, oh, we've had X number of players play. Like they are talking in numbers of, oh, we've had the highest players, we have the highest Game Pass subscribers or whatever, like come to the service, and like they're really being kind of cagey about this stuff, and it's kind of like, that doesn't, that's not what I expected. So it's kind of a thing of like, well, this could be, it's Call of Duty, so it's going to be successful, but it's like, what is it actually doing? But anyways, let's get back to the article. So they're saying Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has 10% lower physical release launch. The physical launch weekend sales for Black Ops 6 are 10% lower than those of Modern Warfare 3. To note that Modern Warfare 3 was the Modern Warfare game that got reviewed the lowest and probably did the worst for Activision. So for it to be doing 10% lower than that is not good. But the silver lining is that the Game Pass side of it is why that happened. And we talked about that. We speculated on that, and it was pretty common sense to think that was going to be the case. Dring noted that the drop in sales is almost entirely due to a drop in that's a weird line. So, but yeah, so basically what we just said, we're just going to skip that because that's just repeating what I just said. Black Ops 6 was the first Call of Duty game to be available on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate on the day of release, following Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Dring also points out that PS5 sales remain steady year over year, suggesting that at least in terms of physical UK sales, the fact that Call of Duty is now an Xbox brand has had no apparent bearing on the popularity on PS5. That is true. Digital data is still to come, which will shine more light on the situation and reveal just how many Xbox Game Pass has affected sales of the Xbox Series X/S version. So CharlieIntel, who is like pretty reliable like Call of Duty leaker, like content provider, came out with like graphics and stuff before Activision. I want to say Activision dropped their graphics, but I actually haven't checked the Activision's Twitter page to see if they actually did this or not. But essentially, from CharlieIntel, he's reporting, or they are reporting, that Activision confirms Black Ops 6 was the biggest Call of Duty launch weekend ever. Context: this is the first Black Ops game, or this is the first Call of Duty game that is being launched globally on all platforms at the same time. Whereas before there was always a staggered launch where the campaign came out first and then the multiplayer came out after or whatever, or like it released early for PlayStation people and then a week after for Xbox people, whatever. Like there was always some kind of like staggering that happened, and that was because of PlayStation's marketing deals to ensure the PlayStation numbers are higher, because that's what a marketing deal tries to do. So for that, like for it to all release at one time, it's like, yeah, it's going to be a massive launch for them. So that was that. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 also sets a new record for the highest amount of PC players ever in a Call of Duty launch weekend. Yeah, that's awesome. So the actual graphic, it says number 1 total players, number 1 hours played, number 1 total matches, and it's like, okay, is that really saying anything? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. We said yeah.
Mm.
And then the other graphic CharlieIntel posted was pretty much regurgitating the same information, except there is a third line added where Microsoft CEO says sales on PlayStation and Steam were up 60% compared to Modern Warfare 3, which is positive, but also to remember Modern Warfare 3 didn't sell well. DLC. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. So again, it's like, okay, you kind of have to take this stuff at face value and be like, okay, well, yeah, the Black Ops 6 did really well, at least for Microsoft. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of fallen off on it, but like, again, for context, I'm not that big of a Black Ops person. I didn't finish the campaign. I guess I'm more than halfway through the campaign. I think I got like 3 more missions left, and I'm kind of just like, I don't know. Do you plan on getting it? Because I would like to talk up. Say what?
Maybe after the price drops.
Okay, because I want to talk about the campaign, because there's like they do a very interesting.
It ain't like it used to be back in the day. I don't give
okay. Shits. Okay, cool. So during what we're playing, I'll talk about the campaign and my my issues with it.
The pizzazz and the wow of like the first Modern Warfare 1 and 2, like the original trilogy, and then the original trilogy of Black Ops. All of that pizzazz and wow is just gone now.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
They're not treading new ground.
Yeah. So Black Ops 6 is sort of trying to tread new ground, but I don't think it's new ground. We'll talk about it in what we've been playing. It's going to be a spoiler, and it might be a surprise for you, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later on. So just catch it later on. Also, let us know what was how you felt about the campaign of Black Ops 6, if you beat it or how far you got, or if you didn't start, you just jumped in multiplayer like the majority of the COD people do. Let us know. All right. Before we jump into more Call of Duty news, hey, you do us a favor. Comment down below about what your feelings on Pokemon TCG Pocket or Monster Hunter Wilds or Call of Duty 6. Let us know. After you do that, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. And if you are listening and you're not watching us, and so you can't leave us a comment below, leave us a review on whatever podcast service you're using. We appreciate it. Thank you. Number 4, Call of Duty's development structure won't change under Microsoft. This comes to us from VGC by way of Jordan Midler. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is kind of bullshit. This is kind of bullshit. Activision has claimed that Call of Duty's development structure hasn't changed under new owner Microsoft, with up to 15 different studios working on the franchise. In recent years, in order to keep up with the yearly release cycle of Call of Duty, Activision Studios would trade off each yearly entry, meaning a studio could take up to 3 years to produce a game, rather than be expected to produce one each November. Activision confirmed in 2021 that all of its core studios were working on the franchise. Now speaking to the Washington Post, Matt Cox, senior vice president and general manager of Call of Duty at Activision, claimed this hasn't changed. When you look at Treyarch and Raven, they have a history of working together within the Black Ops franchise going all the way back to 2010, Cox said. You have this history with people you work with, and that ultimately shows when it comes to its finished product from a publishing and go-to-market standpoint. The latest entry in Activision shooter series Black Ops 6 was released on October 25th for Xbox Series X, S, Xbox One, PS5, PS4, and PC. Oh, it's backwards compatible. I don't know why I just forgot about Xbox One and PS4. Notably, it was also... Say what?
I just laughed.
Notably, it was also the first Call of Duty to be available on Gamepass Day 1. Activision drove a 43%... Oh, no, we're going to talk about it later. So, yeah. I mean, this is not surprising. Like, the reason why Xbox spent $69 billion on Activision was for Call of Duty. They're not going to turn around and be like, okay, well, we're going to change the entire structure of this literally money-making cow. Like, this is how you guys have it set up.
They're not going to touch anything yet until some percentage of money is recouped.
I mean, like, my worry is that it will never change because there's...
I mean, move on to another game.
Who, Xbox?
No, you.
Oh. No. I mean, them working the employees to insanity. It's like that's the Xbox problem. It's not my problem. It's the Xbox problem. But like my thing is like the hope was we would see these studios, or at least Xbox, pick up the dormant franchises from Activision and like use, one or two of the 15 different studios making the Call of Duty games to like work on something else, like work on one of those games and bring those to market.
That to your shareholders, DJ.
Huh?
I'm gonna pull off some teams working on our biggest moneymaker to go make some other shit as a passion project.
But again, like, I mean, that was something that I didn't believe was going to happen. But that was one of the sentiments that people had, thinking that Microsoft was going to use their giant war chest to like make some of these games come back. Like even there was even the thing of Phil Spencer wearing the Haven. Is it Haven? Like some kind of like old franchise shirt. Like, and people are like, oh, he's going to try to bring that back. And then he ain't bring that back. Like, no, Phil lies to you, by the way. So it is a thing of just like, this is not surprising to me anyways. I think the silver lining in this is that Microsoft has stood strong about, hey, look, if you guys want to start a union, you guys can go ahead and do it, and we're not going to stop you. And I think last week we talked about them. Yeah, because it's not on this. Yeah, it's not here. So yeah, I think last week there was talks about a union starting for one of the Activision studios or something. So yeah, it's as long as the money goes up, people don't get laid off, and that's kind of the only thing that matters to Microsoft. Speaking of money going up, number 5, Microsoft gaming revenue keeps going up, even though hardware sales are down. This comes to us from this is The Verge. This comes to us from The Verge by way of Jay Peters. So this is interesting. So Microsoft gaming revenue keeps going up even though hardware sales are down. The company saw a 61% increase in Xbox software revenue. a bright spot for the company. The company says that its Xbox content and service revenue grew 61% year over year from the previous quarter, a figure driven by 53 points a la percent of net impact from the Activision acquisition. So 61 minus 53 is 8. Is it 8?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's 8. I looked back at what the Microsoft Q1 2024 earnings report was for this exact same stat, and it was like either like 12 or 13%. So without Activision, it would have gone down. And it's like what this feels like, and like to me, this is what it's saying is that like Microsoft will essentially, I mean, they have to turn in on Activision, they have to turn in on Call of Duty and make sure whatever they do, it's going to revolve around Call of Duty. Because like that is the thing that's going to bring them in money. And that kind of goes into the previous article about them not changing the structure of how Call of Duty is made, using the 15 studios to keep producing Call of Duty on a yearly basis, or yearly in terms of a Call of Duty comes out every year.
We had enough Call of Duty. Now it's about to become their identity.
Yep.
And we're just going to get an oversaturation of Call of Duty.
Yep.
Hold your britches.
Yep. That, I mean, and the thing is like, that is, and it's one of those things where like I read the articles and I see the stuff and it's like people aren't really putting stuff together to be like, oh wait, this is good for Microsoft, but like it is more, it's like 80%, it's like 80% Call of Duty. It's like, what does that mean for the future of Microsoft for Game Pass and like the smaller games that also come out? And it's like like the time when Activision, or the time when Microsoft was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have Starfield come out and that's gonna be the thing that draws players in, and it's like that didn't really do that much, especially compared to Call of Duty. So it's just like, all right, so why would we even spend the money on that when we can just focus in on the Call of Duty that's gonna come out this year and like make sure that thing is premium quality. So yeah, cheers, I guess. I don't know. And then number 6, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 developers protest over office working policy. Not great. This comes for us from Eurogamer.net. So basically, Activision wants people to come back into the office, and people are calling that a layoff wolf in return to office sheep's clothing. So essentially what that is pointing to is that when, people are working remote, meaning people aren't in the same state as the office that they're working for, people are all around the country. Some people are disabled. They can't necessarily get into the office.
A lot of people took advantage of remote work and just moved to someplace cheaper or moved out of country.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Nobody told you to do that as well. So
I mean, that is true. That is true. But there's also the side of like, okay, well, we have been working from home for years and
that's fine.
Producing quality work. And it's like, now you want to flip the switch and be like, hey, y'all, come in. It's like,
it's a shitty situation, but
it is.
I bet you it's also in their terms of contract that they need to do X, Y, and Z, and the contract could change at any time.
Oh, absolutely. What is it? It's work at will working or whatever.
A lot of places that, for any reason. Yeah. So I mean,
yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right though. Like that is the rules, the contracts they have set up. So like at any point in time, they can be like, yeah, time for you to come in. And it's like, you can get in any way you can. If you can't make it, then goodbye. And it sucks, but like that is what they are allowed to do based off of the rules that they have set up. But the workers are taking a stand and they are protesting, which good, good. And that's what you need to do. So hopefully this the hope is with this protest that will have Microsoft step in and be like, okay, well, we gotta figure this out. Like, you can't be messing up our money now, Activision. But we'll see. Is there anything to so it was 7,250 workers at Activision rally for work from home rights and medical job accommodations. That's awesome. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. The hope is, these people are able to keep their jobs and work from home, and Activision will able to just, maintain what they've been doing. But we don't know. Number 7. Nintendo Music is a streaming service on Switch, guys. It's for Switch Online subscribers. This comes from Engadget by way of Marlena Moon. So real quick, I was browsing the Reddits, and there was a particular rumor picking up steam about how Nintendo's going to release something big, and it might be the Switch 2. And I got all in my like, ooh, this is gonna be fun. So I put a little in our Discord chat. I put like a heavy breathing or a tense breathing intensifies or whatever that gif. Then I put two little snap gif, thinking like, oh, I'm about to hint to something big. Nah. Nintendo was like, hey guys, guess what? We're Spotify now. So Nintendo dropped.
Pay out to the artists, I bet.
They're like, no, we are the artists.
And apparently they copied a majority of YouTube Music's interface.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, with how comfortable Nintendo is with just striking people down on YouTube, they probably know the interface inside and out. So yeah, Nintendo has launched its own music streaming service that caters to fans of its games, including Mario and Animal Crossing. Fans will be able to listen to their favorite game tracks on their phones through the new Nintendo Music app, which has a user interface that pretty much looks like Spotify. The tracks are organized by game, so people can play the whole OST for specific titles if they want. But they can also listen to character playlists like a selection of songs performed by Animal Crossing KK Slider. Yeah.
They need to make a Tingle playlist.
So first we had the Alarmo, which was the Nintendo alarm clock. Now we have this music app. It kind of feels like Nintendo is just kind of dumping the accessories to hopefully have this stuff done and out there, so when they do announce the Nintendo Switch 2, it's not going. Yeah, they're not going to worry about. I don't have to worry about this other stuff that's like really tying back to Switch 1 or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. I saw this and I was like, all right, cool, I guess. I don't know, man. Nintendo's just weird. It's just so weird. Yeah, but if you have Nintendo Switch Music app,
interesting. So one feature that's probably unique to the service is spoiler prevention. If the listener adds a certain game to the setting, the app will hide soundtracks that could give away a surprise ending or unexpected final boss, among other spoilers. Interesting.
You have to be a real diehard to be like, wait, this music.
They're spoiling.
Right? Like, what? It's so crazy. But yeah, let us know if you got Nintendo Music, what your favorite song on the app is. Mine is Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar.
I think I like a lot of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask music.
Wait, do you have it?
No, I don't have a damn
Oh, I mean, do you still have
bullshit.
to send those online?
I don't know, man.
Oh, yeah, okay.
My Switch battery is dead. I'll figure that out when I get a Switch too.
True. Okay. Well, yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it for the big stuff. Let's jump into the quick hits. Number 8, an update from PlayStation Studios, Sony Interactive Entertainment. And if you're wondering, oh, is this good news? It's not good news. So, Sony pretty much put out a letter to everyone who wanted to listen to let us know that they will be closing down 2 studios. Studio 1 is Neon Koi, which a lot of people, this was their first time hearing about Neon Koi. They are a mobile studio, and they're
They
like
were.
they were working on a mobile live service project, and people they didn't specify what game it was. I wonder if, because this was supposed to be their mobile, like a mobile live service game, and the only mobile live service game that we know that is still in the quote unquote wings is the Horizon Monster Hunter game.
Mm.
So it's possible that they were working on this. I don't know. I'm speculating. I'm not saying this is fact. So, you know. But the other studio they closed down was Firewalk Studios. If you know who Firewalk Studios is, they are the developers who made Concord, the game that was roasted alive and served up to literally everybody on the internet. Yes, that game, uh, PlayStation took it down. They refunded the money to everybody, and they said we're going to try to figure out what we're going to do with this. A lot of people predicted that it's not going to come back. Some people predict that it's going to be free to play. I think I personally predicted that they could probably make it free to play, but the issue would be to have to reskin essentially the whole game, because the main issue was people didn't like the art style. People didn't like the characters. They thought the characters looked
And it
bad.
wasn't built for microtransactions like that anyway, if
Yeah.
you remember.
Yeah. So it is a thing of like, what could they really do with this amount of time with the game? And it turns out nothing. They could press right click, go all the way down to the bottom and hit delete. So that's it. It sucks that these people are going to lose their jobs, and when it really comes to blaming and putting the fault on someone, a lot of the
It's
people who are losing their jobs aren't at fault. Like, they were
Yeah, it
told to
sounds
do
like the
this thing.
higher ups just weren't listening to suggestions and shit. Like,
Exactly.
it
Exactly.
sucks that we never even really got to fully learn how to play the damn game because there was no tutorial. There was no
Yeah.
explanation of how
Yeah.
to play this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's that thing of, it sucks to see that, like, I mean, I played the game. I thought the game was like a solid like 7. Like, I think it's a good game. I
It
think
had some
there
unique
is
ideas. I like that.
yeah.
What was it? A capture the flag one where you can only use your character once and then you have to
Yeah.
switch to another one. Like, it had some
Yeah.
novel
Yeah.
ideas in there.
Yeah, it had really cool ideas, and it's just one of those things where everything surrounding it was just very, very unfortunate, and this is the result of that. And
Everybody wants to play with Stellar Blade and the First Descendant looking characters.
if the chest ain't moving while you're moving, then this game isn't the real game. Apparently,
Hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, the hope is PlayStation will learn lessons from this and figure out how to better communicate their games, how to better to listen to listen to feedback, listen to
Yeah.
constructive feedback, because a lot of the feedback from Concord wasn't exactly constructive. It was just more so yelling at a wall. So yeah, um is this going to be the thing where PlayStation is going to be like, okay, well, we need to really slow down live service stuff? No, it's not. This is not going to slow them down from making live service games. I think people are thinking that this is going to be the thing that makes them slow down or stop. No, because live service games make money when they're successful. And that's what every company is looking to do. Xbox spends $69 billion on a live service game that is making money. PlayStation is going to be looking for that. Probably not spending $69 billion, but they're going to be spending money to find a game that works for them. So yeah, that sucks. Speaking of games that is, I don't know, number 9, Ubisoft launches first ever blockchain game with NFTs costing up to 500,000 euros. Is that a sign symbol for euros? We're gonna go euros. Come from Eurogamer.net.
Wait, what? That's 50,000 pounds, you sucker.
Is it pounds? I don't know. Hey, look, man, I'm American. Okay.
Fucking yank.
My money green.
The euro symbol looks different.
Oh, I don't know. I know dollar bills and yen.
Let me ask you something.
Travel.
Is your passport valid? When's your last passport expire?
You know what? I think it expires 2026.
Yeah, I can
some years. Oh man. So yeah, Ubisoft, they made I don't want to give this anything. They made an NFT game, and of course it's an NFT game, so money over everything else. There has been absolutely no like I didn't even know this was a thing until I saw the news article. I was like, oh wait, is this a joke?
This is what happens when you trace trends.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely right.
And have
the game
long development cycles and big budgets.
Yeah. The game is called Champions Tactics. If you are interested in this, you can go check it out because I don't have time.
Champions Tactics Grimoria Chronicles.
There you go. And you get even more precise on the NFTs that you are definitely going to ignore. Please do. And then the other thing is essentially just confirming that Ubisoft is not in a great place right now. Ubisoft 2024-25, half year results plummets as Star Wars Outlaws underperforms. This comes to us from GameIndustry.biz by way of, let me scroll down a little bit, Vicky Blake. I'm not going to read into this too much because it's just sad news for Ubisoft. Basically, everything is down. They're not making money, and it's not looking too good for them.
I'm looking at the fucking this shit is ugly. It looked like it got a fucked up frame rate. It's just but you can own them. They're NFTs, you can own them.
Oh man. Oh, there's only one of them, like people. It's like Pokemon. So yeah, man, and this kind of just gives more validity to the whole Tencent talking about buying Ubisoft or doing some kind of thing. Oh, to make them go private and figure themselves out internally, whatever. It's unfortunate.
So apparently when Ubisoft launched the NFT called Quartz, they only sold 15 NFTs. And the CEO of the NFT boss said the players just don't get it.
Yep, we don't get it.
They get it.
15. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's pretty much it. 15, damn. Oh my goodness. All right. So that's it. Let us jump into what we have been playing. So before I start talking about some stuff, have you been playing anything, Sean?
I did try the Monster Hunter Wilds beta, and I used whatever that triple bow and arrow, crossbow. I don't know what the fuck the weapon was.
Is it okay? So it's is it the heavy bow gun or light bow gun? It fired 3 shots at like that.
You could fire 3 shots, yeah. Oh, okay. You know what? And then he had like a special move where he like scraped it on the ground and that powered it up and he shot it some shit.
Okay, I think that might have been the light bow gun. Actually, funny enough, I played with a lot of weapons, but I touched the heavy bow gun, but I didn't really like give it time to like figure it out. Okay, yeah. So we could talk about Wilds first. Like, what was your impressions on Monster Hunter Wild Beta?
I don't like that the monsters run away.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's why I don't like Monster Hunter. I've tried it a
Yeah.
few times,
Yeah.
and I've never beaten more than maybe like one monster.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if it's for me. And then you gotta craft and sharpen your weapon and do. I mean, hey, y'all know if you play this damn game.
Hmm. So my
I
question was, when you were hunting the monster, was it just did you do it solo or were you like in a party?
party with who?
Okay, so you weren't playing. You didn't do online part. The online part.
That's available for the first monster.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So after you do the tutorial monster or whatever, they put
Hmm.
you into the open world where you can like join other
I
people's
turned it off
session.
after that.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured.
I figured
So
like that's enough.
yeah. So I will say, from my experience with Monster Hunter, it is pretty much very, very close to yours in terms of like hunting the monsters solo is just kind of like, okay, this is really here just to teach me how to play the game. But the fun of it
Yeah.
is from playing with a team, because it's like some of the weapons you can use it by yourself, but
Hmm.
it is really difficult because there's like long wind up times. There's this like there's animation you have to get through to actually do the attack. Like,
I mean, I get it. That's kind of like playing a damn MMO when you're fighting the H&M for my people who play MMOs and understand all that
yeah,
terminology or whatever. But
he just said when you play MMOs, which is a game. Then he said when you go to a store, and I'm just like, I don't know
I
what's
don't know. You
happening.
fight a well, H&M is Final Fantasy specific term, but
Oh.
I just I don't know, man. You know what? For my long line and history of playing demos, when it flashes,
Hmm.
thank you for playing. It means
Oh,
the
that's what
demo's
you're
over. So I just turned the shit off. All right, that was interesting, and I just
just moved on with your life, right?
yeah, I didn't.
Yeah. No,
I don't know.
I get that though. I get that. I will say that once I got past the tutorial stuff and like was hunting with other people, that's where I really found the fun, because I was
Yeah,
able to use the weapons and kind of learn the weapons without being focused on all the time from the monster I'm fighting. So
trying
it's
to
just
aim,
like,
yeah, and run around.
yeah, and like it's one of those things where it's like, I think even playing Monster Hunter World, a majority of that game I played online, whether it be with friends or just random people. And it was just like, this is my preferred way of playing this game. Like I
Gotcha.
appreciate the solo aspect of it, of doing the whole like tracking the monster, fighting the monster, having the monster run away, you go chase it and do the whole thing. But it's like, it just feels like it drags on too long for me when I'm doing it
Yeah,
solo. And it could be a skill issue. I can go ahead and admit that it's probably a skill issue that I'm not min-maxing my attacks. I'm not min-maxing like the dodge frames and all that stuff with this game. And it's like, sure, I get that. But what it comes down to is like, man, this monster has a lot of health, and I am chipping away with my music horn thing. So it's one of the things where I really like the game. I'm going to get the game because
yeah,
I like the loop. Once I got past the tutorial part and I was able to play with people online, it was like, okay, this is actually fun. So it is for me. It's one of those things where it is not an easy game to learn. There are a
mhm,
lot of aspects of the game that is very um abrasive. And it is a thing of like, you can sit and learn the stuff and get an appreciation, but at the same time, if you're just like, this isn't for me, it's fine to bounce off. It is fine to bounce off,
yeah.
because it's going to be hell to actually like learn that stuff and really turn the page on the game. So yeah. So that's that. The next game I want to talk
Hopefully, it
about.
has an hour trial with the PlayStation Plus, and then I may try that and
Yeah,
see what.
yeah,
what-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
this
you can
game
get
makes me.
an hour trial and like
Hmm.
breeze through that first part and like actually get into the online stuff, you could probably, and I'd probably be able to play with you in that at that point too. So probably more fun. The next thing is Pokemon TCG. So we talked about that earlier. Do I? there's not. Okay, the one thing I do want to bring up about TCG is that, again, I'm talking from a point of view of I played Marvel Snap. I have not played a Pokemon game before, and looking at how the game is structured and how the cards like abilities and moves are structured, it does feel like not enough of the base cards have some kind of feature or like some kind of ability attached to them, and it
That's
is
not a bug.
feeling.
That's a feature.
Well, yeah, I mean it, but like the problem is those cards that have the like special features are the rare cards. And it's like, okay, well, to get those rare
That's not a
cards,
bug. That's a feature. Yes, you got to pay for them.
yeah, well, I mean that's the kind of where I'm getting at, where it's just like, this really feel like it feels like that's where the money's being spent to like re-roll these packs and like get the EX version of the cards, because you can have a Charizard and then you can have an EX Charizard, and the normal Charizard only has one attack. The EX Charizard has two attacks, and like the second attack does like 140 damage, and you're just like, oh my god, what the hell? So yeah, it's a whole thing. Again, battling is very secondary. You can sit and collect the cards each day and like open your packs and just continue on with your life and just be fine. And the battling you don't really have to do. But yeah,
I may check it out.
yeah, I would suggest everyone just check it out, because like it's, if you play Pokemon, it's fine. The last thing, Call of Duty. So the one thing that I wanted to bring up is that there's a couple things. Playing Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, it feels very much so like, and they actually talked about this. They took Modern Warfare 3 template and we're like, okay, they did this, they did that, they did this. We're going to improve on this, we're going to improve on that, we're going to improve on that. And it's like it has very, very similar vibes. Like the enemy from Modern Warfare 3 was um like this like terrorist group that worked
Yeah.
outside of the law. It's the same thing in Black Ops 6. And like the whole kind of thing that I really appreciate about Modern Warfare 3 was there was a level that you had to infiltrate in this building, and then as you're like talking to the person, stuff kicks off, and it's like you have to run out of this place. You have to like get into like a helicopter or whatever to get out, because a zombie infection thing happened that like the character didn't really know about. And Black Ops 6 does a similar thing where you have to, they make this realization that this group is the same, like Black Cell group, whatever, is working on this zombie thing, the zombie like T virus or whatever. And you have to go into the lab where it's created, and something happens to your main character, and the main character is separated from the other people, and the main character is like breathing in this like toxin, and they start hallucinating, and that's where like these mannequins that you see become like zombies. So it's a very much so like a way of introducing zombies, but in a psychedelic level. And it's like you guys are just kind of doing the same thing as Modern Warfare 3. But like
That's
a lot
because
of
people
people,
keep buying it. Why change?
well, no, but here's the thing though. The what I noticed is that a lot of people didn't play the story, the campaign of Modern Warfare 3. So this is all new to them. And I'm just like,
I mean, a lot of people don't play the campaign ever, so
that's true.
I
That's
don't know
true.
about
But no, but I mean, but Modern Warfare campaign was what, brought on the side of the street and poked with a stick until it died. Like it was castrated out and whatever. Like no one liked Modern Warfare 3 campaign. So no one really played it, like specifically didn't play it. So now we have this, and it's just like, okay, well, they're kind of doing the same stuff, but because no one played Modern Warfare 3, this is getting like a lot of the limelight. And it's like, okay, that's fine. In terms of characters and like the actual events and stuff, all of it's really cool. Like, it's really impressive, but to me, it just feels like, okay, I can literally see how this was put together and like where they're pulling from. It's just like, all right, this is not as interesting. But like, that has been one side to me, kind of like, I don't really feel like finishing the campaign. And the other side is like, it seems that they are going like a step into the horror direction, because there's like another mission where it's like you're in the dark and you have a flashlight and you just have to like deal with the stuff around you. I'm just like, I don't, that's not why I play Call of Duty. Like, that's not what I want to do. So I've just kind of just been like, whatever. I haven't even really played the multiplayer much, as I've been playing Monster Hunter, and I'm gonna be playing Dragon Age very soon. So, well, I'll be playing Call of Duty at some point in my life, maybe. But right now, I'm playing other games. But that's it.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. Well, oh, that is it for the cast. So we hope you enjoy this episode as much as I have been just blabbing on and connecting words together. Don't forget, you can like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to please leave us a comment below about your thoughts on Ubisoft. Just not doing too great. Oof. If you want, you can join our Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. There, you can join us as friends. And hey, we're pretty cool as friends. Better as podcast hosts. Like, whatever, I don't know. Hey, man, you take care. You be safe. Hey, person, you take care. You be safe. I think by next podcast, we will either be happy or in a concentration camp or whatever, because Trump is just crazy. So yeah.
I don't care. I'll be playing my PS5 Pro.
Oh yeah, that's right. As long as you got internet, right?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Peace. Oh, I didn't even do this stuff. Dang.